Another month and another pile of board games?
Another epic pile of board games is what you wanted to say, huh? This is gonna be simple. We're gonna talk about the best board games of the month that we played, and then we will rank them in 3 categories.
The first one is being mine, which is a game, if I don't own it, I definitely buy it.
And we have Friends Collection, which is collection that we would love to play that game if somebody would ask us to play it, but we don't feel like we need that in our collection.
And last one is the other collection, where we will put games that we're not bright enough to recognize their value.
And most importantly, we're gonna give the honors of Game of the Month. My first candidate is On Mars. This one is biggie. This is one of the most complex board games out there, and also one of the best rated board games. So I thought I have to give it a roll. Should you? Let's find out. If the title wasn't telling, then we're on Mars. This is a Euro game where you get a bunch of resources, try to get better, and try to get the most victory points. What sets it apart is not just the complex rules, but also that the map is split in 2 parts. One is the colony, which is on Mars, and then there is the space station. You can be either on the planet or in the space station, and what that means is only few actions will be available. For example, if you are on the planet, only these actions are available. Or if you're in the station, only these actions are available. To travel from one to the other part, it takes a while. So you need to plan ahead which actions do you want in the future turns. And do you want to go back to the station? Do you want to go back to the colony? That's a really cool little kind of mystery that you have to solve. You build almost everything kind of together. Everybody's competing for victory points, but everything you place on the board, all players can use. For example, I can upgrade my tech right here, but if I have upgraded some techs, you can use it. Just pay me a little bit, all right? The same goes with cards that you have played. I really like the interaction. It's a live city on Mars. It's complex because there's a lot of, if that happens, then this happens, you can do that, but can't do that, and so on. So I really enjoyed it, but also I thought it doesn't stand out. It's really good. It's really Euro-y. There's not much bad about it. Just for me personally, I thought I kind of seen almost all of it. So for me, it's at the top of Friends Collection. I did consider maybe I need it, but then I realized, you know, I'm good of borrowing. It's a perfect game for me that to borrow from a friend.
My game is going to be also about building stuff together, but on Earth with anthropomorphic animals. In this world, there was a huge war and all the houses and everything was destroyed. But right now, the animals are coming back to the forest and trying to rebuild. So you are one tribe of animals, I am one tribe of animals, and we're just rebuilding things together. But like anything in the board game world, victory points is the thing. So what you'll do is you'll have your own little character that will walk around these clearings, and you will build buildings. You will place buildings on the board. You will send your little villagers from your board to live in those buildings. Each time you do that, you obviously get a bonus. You will score some points for your other buildings touching. But the most unique part, how all of this happens, is your hand of cards. And to do any of the actions you want to do in this game, you will have to do 1 or 2 things in your turn. You can either play a card, then you'll immediately use the effect with the lightning. Or you slide all your cards. So you would slide all your cards to the left and then do what it says once it slides. So here's the key. You could have placed it here and you'll be able to use that slide action 3 times.
So the placement is really important.
Matters. And there are 4 different things. There's one that you play it happens, one that when it slides, there's another one what happens when it falls off. So you maybe want to place it near the end, so it just goes out immediately and you get it back in your hand and you use that effect. And some other effects, but essentially this management of your little board and cards. But other than that, you'll be moving around, finding some forces that will give you points. You'll get resources that you use to build buildings. Each time you win a fight, you will get rewards on this track here. And we kind of do our own thing, but also we walk around the same clearings and then maybe I want to build a building here to mess up your plans to score. And it does feel like you're building things because you start out with this naked board, but the more you play, there'll be these buildings with your little guys living in there, and it feels like you're actually rebuilding the whole world. All right, so where does this rank? Well, I don't know. I really like it. I don't know. I am torn. Can we put it in between mine and Friends?
That's how I cheated. It's on top of the Friends Collection.
I think it's an amazing game. I love when you have to make choices about how you play cards. Kind of like multi-use cards, and this does it. And plus it has an amazingly cute theme.
So next candidate is Realms of Reckoning. Actually, Realm, just one realm. Just single
But it
realm.
feels like it should be more, because there are many.
Realm of Reckoning is a drafting game where each player will have a bunch of cards, will each pick one, and then simultaneously turn it around.
Then you will resolve the action on the card, and then you decide where to tuck it in, because it will give you influence or other icons that might be needed for scoring.
Why he's saying might? Because players will decide what will give points at the end of the game or at the end of the round. And there's this area control, this black area that you can't see a lot of things, but trust us, there are 5 different territories that you will be fighting over. Based on your influence, you will be able to then get benefits, and one of those benefits is getting this white lady and then placing it somewhere to say, we will score points for this in this game.
Yeah, it's like a build your own point salad.
Well, this one is kind of forgettable, to be honest. It's good while playing the game, it felt great, as well as the best part of the game is trying to get the right scorings for you, right? Sending those ladies to correct spots to give you the most points. That's super fun fighting for it. Other than that, it's kind of forgettable. So for me, it actually would be the other collection. So it's a good game, just not for me, really. That's the definition of that category.
Let's just chill with something easy peasy.
All right.
Diamant. This is a super simple family party game where all you do on your turn is you decide either to go into the cave after the treasure or run out. Why would you ever run out, right? Yeah?
I presume it's dangerous there?
It is dangerous, and if you get 2 dangers at the same time, for example, you meet one scorpion, that's okay, he's a friendly one. But if you meet the other scorpion, you lose everything you have gathered so far. But if you do escape, then you get to keep everything. Alright, so we've started going into this cave, we each got 2 gems, and now we have to decide to go further in or out.
I'm going in.
Alright, I'm going in as well.
Oh, this isn't.
I got it. We reveal a card. Oh, guess what? You get 2, I get 2, but one of these gems stays here. So who gets that? If one of us decides to go back, he gets that. And we continue opening cards and deciding to go in until here's that famed scorpion that I mentioned. It's fine, we're still fine, we're good. But if I would reveal the other one, we lose everything we got. But if you decide to escape in time, you will just put everything into your little chest, and those are your points within the game. And we play until either everyone runs out or is screwed, and then we play 4 more rounds, and who has the most gems wins. Alright, so what do I think about this game? Where does it go? It does go into my collection because I actually did buy this. This is not a review copy. 2 decisions, in or out. And
Plus also setup doesn't take at all.
And out of those 2 decisions, it's in.
Right, so for me, the next one is Grendel. What this company is famous for is very asymmetric games, and this one is not different. You will have 4 asymmetric factions, and you will try to control territories with that faction.
And the goal, of course, is to get the most points. But when do you score?
You score when there is enough mayhem in that region. Players, during their turns, will throw in this house, and at one point, it should trigger.
Whoa! Mayhem! At the end of the mayhem phase, you score points for each of the territories you control.
So you constantly move around, try to hit the other factions and remove them from the board in very different kind of ways, because each of these characters will work in different way. For example, police arrests everybody and then gets bonuses.
Yeah. And they control their actions through Rondel.
In one word, it's really a mayhem.
It is total mayhem.
This was really cool, I like it.
This was very cool.
And it depends on which side I think you play. As we said, it's very asymmetric. For example, the police can combo things and so on. And then the mob was a lot simpler. But that also makes it pretty cool because you get really different experiences. And I feel like I placed it in Friends collection. It definitely has potential. I would love to play it. But this is by far better than this.
I have my little Everdell. In this game, you will have your little workers. You will send them either to get one of these resources or you'll send them to get what's on the die. That's like the randomization before the round. You roll all the dice and then just place them there. That's what you can get. And then what do you use those resources for? To buy cards, because they give you points. Money is points. And who has the most points at the end of the game wins. You can also get points for these achievements. If you have like buildings with these symbols, first one, you get that one. Super easy, super simple. Essentially, it's what it says on the box, Lil Everdell. This goes
into my collection.
Into other collection. Oh, okay. And it still looks gorgeous. It's still the Everdell you know and love, and it's just not for me.
Not sure if you know this, but we all here in Game Hangover are kind of basketball junkies, right? Some more than others.
Throw some hoops.
Yeah. Miss all the time, but it still counts.
Doesn't matter.
So we were super excited to try Basketboss. You are the general manager of a team. Congratulations. Unfortunately, your team's called the Beavers and not very good. But don't worry, it's your chance to shine, because you can get new players, new help to your team, and make sure to score the most points in a season and get the trophy.
Yay!
Which means victory points.
I would like to thank Christoph Porzingis for inspiration.
Every round there will be players that you can then draft or rather bid on and add to your team. Basically they have stars, right? And the stars are their strength. Some players get better with time, some worse and then better. I don't know what happens, but something happened to them. That's it. You basically count stars. You will play through few seasons, and each season some rules will change. For example, this season, like point guards have more strength or more stars because it's the season of point guards. All right, so I'm a big fan of basketball. I always wanted a really good basketball board game, so this goes into other collection. First of all, it's really cool references and so on, but it is a star counting manager. And I think when you want a basketball game, you want some adrenaline, right? Yeah. You want something like trying to throw something or playing something, rolling something that gives you excitement. Here it's, all right, if I take that, it's 5 stars, I'll go there, I think I'll catch you. And it's just counting stars.
13 beavers!
Wait, it's 13. What happened to the 14th one?
I don't know! Here, 13 beavers are trying to get to the paradise. Oh. And this is essentially a roll and move without the rolling, but with a lot of moving. On your turn, we'll have a number here. And then I have to say, higher. It is. I get to move forward. Lower. It is. I get to move forward. Lower. It is. I get to move forward. I think I'll stop, because if I guess wrong, I'll come back all the way back to my dam. But if I stop, I can place it here. And the next player goes. That's the basic premise. Super simple, super easy. But where the fun comes from, well, obviously gambling as well for kids. But other than that, these action spaces. So for example, if you come here, you can try to guess the exact next number. And if you do, you immediately go to paradise. But what are the chances? Very low, very, very low. I've played it tens of times and it has never happened. That doesn't stop my oldest son from trying all the time and then being mad at this game because it sucks. Don't gamble, kids. House always wins. It's a super simple game. First one to the finish wins. Super easy, not much to it. 13 beavers. What do I think about it? It's nice if you have very young children that don't care about a lot of random. I'm gonna place it into other friends' child's collection. So it goes to your kids' collection.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's fully a children's game. Ugh. What is this, piece of art?
Well, it actually looks like this.
I know that.
Kabuto Sumo is a dexterity game that we're gonna show you right away.
But why is it so big?
Because this is the all inbox, which has like expansions and stuff, and it looks freaking cool. I just love doing it.
Oh, wow.
This is a dexterity game where all that you do, first of all, you can turn this table any way you want to, then add this ramp, pick a one piece, and then in a straight line, push it somewhere.
Push it.
If I throw off the circle any of the opponent sumo wrestlers, I win. And if any pieces fall off, I get those pieces to push in later turns. And you also will play some different kind of character that will get extra new pieces, like this huge pile of poop. No, really, it's a pile of poop. Trust me.
Come on, so close.
One of my favorites, I recently played with this one. You collect these pieces slowly, patiently, and then you can push like this. No way. Anyways, yeah, and there are different like expansions that are done different pieces and so on, but the basic game doesn't change. You just take these pieces and push away. It's silly fun for 10 to 15 minutes. It looks gorgeous. And the coolest thing by far is that whenever you push something, you're not quite sure how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Sure, this one's gonna push there, and that's it. Nothing happens. It's tons of fun. It's really, really great game. So we're pretty much suckers for small, really fun games, right? That just works with a lot of people. I would buy it.
I definitely buy it.
I'm not sure if I would buy the like big box all right out of the
just for some silly fun, this is all you need. I didn't even know that existed before they sent us a review copy, but this one has been living on my wishlist for a really long time since I played it, and I'm definitely gonna get it at some point.
So the last game before we choose our game of the month
is the Guild of the Merchant Explorers. The Queen has asked you to set out from your capital to explore the lands around you and establish and explore and find trade routes and find treasures and all kinds of things. So how the game works is, we're just gonna flip open a card and it's gonna tell you how many, in this case, 3 cubes, you'll have to place in a straight line on your board. At the beginning, you can place adjacent to your capital. But later on, adjacent to a cube you already have, or a village. When you fill out all the spaces of one territory, for example, these 3, you remove one of those cubes and place a village there and score points. This is the first area, you would get 1 coin. And then we continue flipping over cards, placing cubes, establishing villages, but then the era will end and you'll remove all your cubes. Except the villages. Villages stay. And next round, you can start from either your capital or the villages. You know, seems nice, but I thought, yeah, but we're gonna do the same. There are different maps and everything, but we're gonna do probably the same thing over and over again. But each time, the current age's number comes up. That might happen, but that's rare. Mostly what happens when you draw that current age's number is you'll get 2 skill cards, and these are all different and they're like super powerful. You'll pick one and place it near your age 1, and you'll trigger it immediately. But let's say we're playing the second age, and now number 1 comes up again. You get to use it again. So throughout the game, you'll get to use it many times, and all of these are different. None of these repeat. Okay. So that adds to the replayability. So it's essentially roll and write.
Yeah.
Right? Except you don't
roll or write.
Or write, yeah.
And it plays fairly quick, 30 minutes, I'd say. And somehow this, where do I go, getting these abilities, I don't know, just dragged me in. I play this solo, I play this with multiple players, I love it each time, and the more I play it, the more I like it. So it goes into my collection. I bought it, I was like, oh, it's so expensive, but I'm glad I did. I really like it, can't get enough of it at the moment. So, and if I didn't have it, now knowing what I know, I would buy it. So it goes into my collection.
So these 3 would go into our collections. Which one, though, is the game of the month?
Not this.
Alright.
But it's one of those. You haven't played that one, but I have played both. Oh, turns out it's this one. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Kabuto Sumo is our game of the month this month.
And if you enjoyed this month's video, check out last month where we did play awesome games as well.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, and all the happy people out there who support us, thank you so much. It makes us happy as well.